Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
So what was it like growing up? Fast forward just a little bit. You left Kazakhstan when you were 20?
Correct.
Okay. So you grew up there. You had all those years there. What was it like living there? You gave us a little bit of insight into the currency and all of this and going to the store. But like, what was it like to be a child there? Like with the schools, and were there things to do, or like what was life like there?
Yes, school. We would go to school every day, like kids here do. Played a lot outside.
Okay.
I feel like things would come a lot later, like 50, we're 50 years behind. It's catching up right now, like
Okay.
50 years behind America. But I did play a video game, I think, when I was like 14 years old. And I
Okay.
got my first cell phone when I was already in a college.
Okay.
So it's a little bit, it doesn't happen as fast as it
Yep.
does here.
Yep.
But no, overall, I was covered in love.
Mm-hmm.
Had amazing grandmother and grandfather and aunts and uncles. So the family values and being close. We grew a lot of things. I did started working very early. Like 6, 7, I was already helping my grandma. She would sell, again, because we had a garden and we'll have seeds. So we can sell seeds in the spring. And so everyone knew me, so they'll buy things from me. And,
Okay. Even when you were 6 and 7 years old, you were selling things?
Yes, I was.
Really? Were other kids doing this too, or were you more like entrepreneurial like that?
I think I wanted things a little bit more.
Okay. Huh.
Yes. And also, because it was only mom and I, didn't have a lot of support. And that if I wanted to buy anything, kind of had to have money to do
I
so.
see. And you knew that at like 6 and 7 years old?
Yep.
Wow. Was your parents separated or?
You know, my father was never in the picture.
Okay.
So they never were married.
Oh, really?
period.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Your mom, did you always know that you would leave that country or?
I didn't.
Okay.
But I would watch every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. There was a travel show for 30 minutes. And every Sunday I would watch it. And I would see all these beautiful different countries. And I would dream that maybe one day that can be me.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And I remember breaking down and crying when I recognized that it never can be me. Because it will take my mom working full time for 3 years to save up enough money to be able to buy a plane ticket.
Ooh.
And there was absolutely no way, no reality that was supporting any of those wishes or dreams. But I still had a hope in my heart.
Uh-huh. I mean, here you are. I mean, this is sort of like surreal to me a little bit. Like here is someone who was born in Kazakhstan, single mom. I mean, the idea that you would work for 3 years to buy a plane ticket and that's where all your money would go from those 3 years there's no way. Yeah. And that here you are, like in America, flourishing, doing extremely well. And it's just, man. So, I mean, we need to hear more of that story, but how you kind of got from there to here. But I'm still kind of curious a little bit. I'd love to hear a little bit more what life was like there, because I watched a documentary recently on like life in Russia, and I'm picturing life in Kazakhstan might have been somewhat similar to like life in Russia, but just is it kind of the I'm picturing the environment being a little bit more like, I don't know, less open, less free, less expressive, a little bit more contained, a little bit more repressed. Is that accurate or no?
It is accurate. And again, it has changed a lot because we have internet right now and the world is opening up and people are, a little bit more evolved, the younger generation, and some of them are able to travel and go and see other places and then come back and say, wow, this is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yes. However, there is not much that you can do with that, even though it is wrong. So I believe last year it happened that a president changed, but it was the same president since Soviet Union fell apart. And it is a democracy, right? And so Anyone else who'll run against him would be just there for a show or would be put in jail. And so there was really no one else ever. And so he would just extend different terms when it was 4 years and it became 7 years. And it was just like one per person show. And no one can really say anything. There is no, people don't know really the law because everyone is below the law. If you are in a power, you're in a power and you can do anything. If you're not, then you're out of luck.
Mm-hmm. And it's still that way today, somewhat. More than here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is like, I call America a candy shop. Like you come in here like, oh my God, I can be anything. There are no barriers, but only the one that are in your mind. Nothing else. You want to open up the business? Open up the business. Go online. Here's a website. Here's LLC. Ready to go. You don't need to pay mafia. Don't need to pay under the table. Don't need to do all of that other 100 things and loops that you never can do in so many other places. Like this is so free. So free.
Okay, I don't disagree with you, but there's some people that don't think it's so free here. There's some people that think depends where you're born or depends what your situation is. You can't get ahead in America. Things are against you. And you're saying there's still, in America, there's probably still, some people have it better off than others here, right? If you are born in a super wealthy family or you're born in an extremely poor family, that's a difference, right? But at the end of the day, it's a free country and there's still opportunity here for everyone. That's what I'm hearing you say.
It is. So many opportunities for anyone. If there is a desire in a heart and there is a wish, there are people, there is opportunities, there are ways, there are doors, there are windows. There are no doors or windows in so many places.
I wonder if that's a message that we need to hear a little bit more of here. Because sometimes we can be products of our own environment. And if you were born in a free country like America and your parents were here and maybe your grandparents were here, like myself. I mean, unless you travel outside of this country, you just think the whole world's like this. That's your product of your culture. Well, the whole world's not like this.
It is not.
And for all of the things that America has so much room for improvement in, which it totally does. You know, this is no Narnia. I mean, there's still, or heaven on earth. I mean, there's still some things that need to be improved here. But when you compare it to Kazakhstan or some other places around the globe, it's night and day difference.
It is. And I tell people, the one that are struggling with a lot of depression, especially, go to a third world country and see what life truly is, because this is not even real. Right? You have an opportunity to be depressed and just be sad and be caught up in your emotions, where most of the world is just trying to survive and fight for life.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what is meant by first world problems, right?
Yes.
Like we have these first world problems here because, sometimes we think everything's stacked against us, or you can't get ahead, or there's no opportunity, or there's no way you're going to have a brighter future, or you're dealing with these. You have the luxury of having some of these like depressions or some of these things that you're talking about, some of these challenges. Those are very first world. Some of those can be very first world problems. And when you go to see actually how it is for other people, that's the benefit of traveling too. There's so much benefit, particularly if you're born in America. The benefit of traveling around the world some, or getting in other countries and other cultures and seeing how different people do things. I mean, for me, just watching that documentary on what it was like to live in Russia, this was a few months back, but it was good for me, because while I still feel like there's room for improvement here in America, look, we have a lot going for us that at least that didn't portray in that documentary on Russia. Mm-hmm. Those people didn't have near the opportunity that we have here.
And again, the world is changing. There are some people that have a lot of opportunities in Russia and in Kazakhstan right now, and they've created different things for themselves, and they're able to travel, they're able to live all together. Right, mm-hmm. and create a different environment for themselves and change their destiny in such a way, in such a shape.